It's the King's birthday round 13. Bombers take on the Blues. Does it get any bigger than that? Welcome to Absolutely Essendon. I'm your host, DT, and this is my colleague, Smokin' Joe, and we're changing things up a little bit. Smokin', how did that go?
You know, that's not too shabby. You've kind of you've tapped into like a news reader from the 70s. It's had that kind of vibe.
I was in my early 30s then.
Right, were you? Well, it's good to have you here. We're doing a preview episode. I pulled him away from the office.
You run with it now. You go with it, all right? I'll just step back.
That's enough now. Let the adults take over.
All right.
Okay.
Let the professionals do their job.
No, but we are doing this because we thought this round, this game, there's so much at stake. Not fake football commentator at stake. There is a lot at stake, hence why we've decided to do a bit of a preview as part of the build-up, because we are quietly excited and also incredibly nervous about this game for so many reasons. Second against fifth, and let me just say that we are the underdogs in this case. Very clearly, the bookies, the smarties, say it's the Blues all day. Tell me why.
Well, you know, you talk about a lot at stake. You know, I love steak. I love my steak well done, and I suspect that's what's going to happen to the Bombers come Sunday night. I think the Blues are going to give us an almighty battle. I'm not absolutely confident
I know you don't believe that. You just like to dig yourself in a hole and dig yourself
This is
out.
called managing one's mental health.
Is it? Yeah.
And,
which, as Bombers fans, we know, incredibly important to do that.
So I'll be absolutely honest with you. I faced this weekend with trepidation. I feel like the brave men that landed on the beaches of Normandy, of which, of course, we celebrate the 80th anniversary of that only just yesterday as we record, and not to say that their sacrifice is anything like what we're going to go through on the weekend, but I do fear for our boys. I really do, and of course, made worse by the opposition. Who wants to lose to those bastards?
Yeah, that is the problem. Hence why the stakes are so high. They're on a roll, the Blues. They're on a roll, and we are suffering from a few injuries. Shall we start with that? Shall we start?
Well, let's have a look at the team selections.
What the potential lineups could look like.
So we're at a point in time where there's an extended bench, so we can't confirm exactly who's in and out, but we know, of course, that Mason Redman has been withdrawn from the team with a bit of hamstring awareness, I believe it is.
Yeah, bit of a strain.
Yeah. And so
that is a big out.
It is a huge out, and I think Mason's been pretty good in the last couple of weeks for us. And, of course, that means with the extended bench, there's still a few that will come off that. I think Brian remains on the bench. Sarters, I think those boys might be lucky to see game time. But Archie Roberts is also on the bench. So
yes, he is.
Maybe. Setterfield's been listed. Yep. I'm pretty sure he will play.
That would be nice.
And I think we need to have someone of his ilk in the midfield to sort of hold the line against a pretty rampant Carlton midfield at the moment, led by their captain, Patrick Cripps, and, of course, young Sam Walsh. So a few injuries to worry about. But likewise, I think the Blues are missing a couple.
Let me just say that Dylan Shield is there as well.
Oh, is he? Well, I'm not sure that means too much. But
no, don't be like that. Okay. I mean, when it comes to Sarters, I'd probably prefer...
I don't think either will be there. I think Setterfield and Goldstein will be the two ins.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. But I think they're missing Chera, an important part of their midfield. Yeah. But they've also got the other famous Italian down there, Cincotta.
They do. Who has been in a bit of form.
Been pretty good. And I think he'll go on to Merital, one of our key mids, to shut them down. So lots of battles going on around the ground, but probably none bigger than the one that's happening between the two twin brothers.
Indeed. And so we finally get to see them play on each other, and it will be quite interesting.
Are they twins?
I think they are.
Geez, if they're not, then something's pretty peculiar, because they are identical, those two, aren't they? They are twins, I'm sure.
Yes, they really are. So it's so we get to see that battle, which will be quite interesting. I'm hoping more of the pressure is on Harry Because Ben, he just has to spoil it. He just has to give him a hard day at the office.
Yeah.
Harry has to actually mark it and then convert the thing in front of 92,084 people.
Well, I believe Harry was having a bit of a dig at his brother during. They have a podcast, much like we do, and probably not quite as successful as ours.
Right.
But saying that Harry would probably play on Ben would probably play on Harry, his brother,
right.
Because he wasn't good enough to go with Charlie Curnow. So there you go. It's already started between the two, and Mum's watching from the sideline with the wooden spoon.
Right.
In case either of them are naughty boys, I would think.
Yes. That'd be nice. That'd be very satisfying as a parent, though. You can't lose.
No, I mean, how proud would the family be watching? This is the first time they've ever played on each other. You know that, right?
It is.
Since 2015 or whenever they got drafted.
I'd love to see a report. I'd love to see the MRO. Let's talk about Curnow as well. Who's going to handle that situation? Well, last year, let me just say, Curnow kicked 2 goals for. We'd like him to be just as inaccurate this year.
Yeah,
ideally.
I think you'll have that. He's never accurate. Neither is Harry Mackay, by the way, so there's always the risk they're going to spray a few. But let me just say this.
Yeah.
I think Laverde... Well, let's walk it back.
Okay.
Because there's talk that Pitnet won't be playing for the Blues, the ruckman, which means De Koning will probably have to play that role, which means that they're one tall down in the forward line, which means that Jordan Ridley should get a free run. If Laverde takes Curnow and Ben takes Harry, then Laverde can really own that sort of back line and perform that incredible intercept role that he does so well.
You mean Ridley can own that
I beg your pardon, Ridley, yes. So there's a lot of pieces in that
I like the
puzzle.
sound of it. But that's assuming that Laverde, who has been fairly strong and fairly reliable the last few weeks, can handle Curnow. Well, he's not taken off him at the end of the first quarter.
He's probably, he's a slightly bigger build than Jordan Ridley, so I think he is the guy to go to Curnow, to be honest with you. I mean, some might argue that Ben Mackay should, but then no one's going to destroy the battle of the brothers, so let's see how it plays out.
But
what that means to me is I actually think Ridley could become an extremely influential player in this game.
Right.
And with Redman out, Martin and Ridley are going to have to perform that rebounding role off the half-back line, making up for the hole left by Redman's absence. So that is a really interesting part of the way this game will play out.
Very nice, very nicely analysed. So we've taken care of their forward line somehow, not sure. What about our forward line? We've got Langford that we don't even know at this point whether he's going to be playing, and if he does, what impact he can have.
Yeah.
Last year, Peter Wright kicked 5 goals.
Yeah, so Langford's got a corky, I think, from last week, and looked pretty sore from the footage from the Gold Coast game when he was coming off the ground. I mean, corkies, if you've ever had one smoking, they do sting. They do sting, and if they're bleeders, they can cause some problems. So
it was more hip related. But anyway.
You can get a cork in your hip. Yeah. No, you can. But anyway, let's see how it plays out. But Langford has been listed. Do you think he's going to play?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I would have thought that even though Brad Scott has this policy, I'm just not going to play. Just going to play players that aren't 100%. I got a feeling with Langford, even if he can just stand out there, snare a couple of goals, clunk a couple of marks, convert, I would have thought he's probably going to go that way. I
agree. I think that if you look at the bench, there's no obvious replacement for him on the bench, so I would suspect he's going to play.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to lift his game because the great man has been a little bit down in recent weeks. To be fair, don't give me that look. He has been, and I think our astute community out there will be going, yes, DT, you're absolutely correct.
Right.
He needs to lift his game. I mean, I'm asking him to do it because he's a great player, and by gosh, we're going to need him.
Yes.
But I think Peter Wright's the other interesting one because you mentioned I think he had the 5 goals. Did you mention that?
I did mention that, yes.
5 goals in the same game last year.
Yeah.
Coming back straight, it was his first game back from his 10-week layoff with the shoulder reconstruction.
It was. We just thought, wow, how many by the end of the year? We were stacking them up.
I think it was that was last time he kicked 5 goals. So we'll see. But I think Peter Wright and Langford have got a huge job in front of them, and really, we've got to find a way to score. Yeah, I would think at least 12 to 15 goals tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on the King's birthday eve. And, without those two firing, it's hard to imagine where the goals would come from.
Yeah, it's interesting reading people's comments about the loss to Gold Coast last week. There were those saying, this is just continuation of the worrying signs that we saw in the North Melbourne and Tigers game, and, we're going to get belted by Carlton. There's those that say, well, when we have more scoring shots but we lose, I'm not that worried. So based on that line of thinking, if those same players can convert better this time, I know it's a different team, nevertheless, that might see us in the game for longer, or maybe even the best outcome. Yeah,
look, I've always said it. Inaccurate kicking is bad football.
Yeah.
You've got to do better. And we had, 4 players kicked between them, 10 points without a goal. That can't happen. We just will not get the same leniency from Carlton as perhaps we got from the Gold Coast. I think we've got to be absolutely lethal in our conversion and efficient in every possible way. These are a pretty decent opponent, and as much as I despise the look of them, you'd be foolish not to acknowledge that they're a decent team. So that goal conversion, we just can't afford for that to happen. And it's strange because at the beginning of the year we were very good, and just in recent weeks, that has crept into the game.
And now we haven't lost in Victoria this year. I'm hoping that it can continue. It probably may not mean much. It's one of those stats that just can delude you, and we do enjoy being deluded. So we've covered our forward line, the back line, dealing with there. Let's talk about where it really matters and where we have struggled big time now for 3 weeks, and somehow praying for a miracle that we turn that around against one of the hottest teams in the world.
Well, you're absolutely 100% correct. This is where the game will be won or lost, is in the midfield. I think
one's ever said that.
No, it's an insightful piece of wisdom and philosophy that I have thought long and hard about.
Mate, I appreciate you bringing
before coming into the studio today. I thought, well, what can I add to the conversation? What interest can I generate?
Let me grab a pen, because I want to make sure
Confucius says, to quote one of our great regular commentators in our comments section.
We love your comments, by the way. He always quotes Confucius.
He does. What does Confucius say? Man doing push-ups in grass, not necessarily a fitness freak. Think about it.
Right. Okay.
So the midfield.
Yes.
Look, they have one of the great midfielders in the competition, Brownlow medalist, captain of their team in Patrick Cripps.
Yes.
Who got completely towelled by our Archie last year. If you remember that game.
I do. He was kept very quiet, and that needs to happen as a minimum.
Yeah. So will Archie play on Paddy Cripps this week? Or will it be Durham, who did a job on Bontempelli a few weeks back?
Yeah, there is a chance of that. Because remember, they've got Walsh as well.
Yeah, doesn't worry me, Walsh.
Oh, then you need medication.
Call me stupid.
I was going to do that. I held back.
You didn't need the invitation.
Back, yes.
No, I don't. Look, Walsh to me he's a decent player. I just don't find him to be as damaging.
No, that's what I think about Cripps. Like, he'll clunk a few kicks.
Cripps,
you know what I mean? There's a whole lot of commotion.
Did you see the last quarter they played against Port Adelaide?
Yeah, all right. So he's had a good game. All right.
Okay. He's won a Brownlow medal. Sorry.
Okay. That was the lawyers.
Technicality.
That's the lawyers' Brownlow medal. Never forget. Never.
Oh, true. That's right.
Okay.
He did get that on a technicality.
Yes. So
Paddy Cripps. Okay, fair enough. Sam Walsh is a decent. He gathers a bit of the pill. I'm not sure, but and if Setterfield comes into the team, that's another sort of interesting dynamic. Who will run with who?
Yes.
I suspect Durham will go with Cripps, but I wouldn't be surprised if Archie was told, "This is your day.
Yeah,
this is your day. Give us what you gave us last year. Shut this man down. Do your team.
This is your role.
Favour.
Exactly.
Yep.
This is how you can deliver." And also, the wing worries me. They've got Blake Acres.
Who?
Oh, please. He goes all right.
Blakers.
Okay? Yes, Blakers.
That's a joke, right?
Yes, he goes.
Can you imagine the discussion around the gender reveal party that his parents had? Oh, it's a boy. What name did you have in mind? Something that rhymes with acres.
Right. It's Blake.
Acres.
Yes. Okay.
That's not a Blake Ake.
Whereas, so they've got a strong wingman. Our wing has been a bit of.
You were a strong wingman for me back in the day. I've got to be honest. Those nights at the Botanical.
Oh yeah. Just ending up at 7-Eleven with a nice
gyros.
What a lovely
anyway,
night.
We digress.
Yes, we do. Yes, so they've got a strong wingman. Our wing has been a bit of an incubator of late, where we keep trying different things.
Yeah.
I know Dersma's out.
He is.
What are we going to do there? Because,
I suspect Dyson will play on one wing.
Oh, really?
Yep, I do. I think he's been pretty good. I mean, yeah, look, it's to be seen. If Sartis plays, they'll probably stick him out on a wing.
Oh, no, that's not going to cut it this week.
Jake Kelly will probably get a run on the wing. Maybe put Kelly up on Acres. I don't know is the answer, but certainly Dersma has been missed, hasn't he?
Big time.
He's been. He was very good for us earlier in the year. And what happened to him?
He got
hanger awareness.
Yeah. He did. Hasn't been spotted for a while.
You know what? There's a graveyard out the back there, isn't there?
So it's going to come down. So, but my general feel is if we can just somehow keep up in the centre, maybe we can. We didn't
talk about Jai Caldwell, of course, who's been in fantastic form.
Yes, he has,
and very consistent.
What's the best way to use him?
Look, he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. He's a bull. He's inside. He's getting the ball, and he's distributing it very well. He's particularly efficient, and I think when you really look at the blend of the midfield, so we're not that far off. They've got some superstars, no question about it. We've got our Zachy. We haven't talked about him.
Yes. So last year he was fairly quiet as well as Cripps.
And he was good last week against the Suns. I think, when you really look at the two sides, I don't think there's a huge gap between the midfield. So this game, I think, is quite evenly balanced if we bring our best performance. If we go to sleep for a quarter, do what we did against North and the Tigers, I'm not sure we could be in the running. But if we play, with the same effort and determination as we have in previous matches, particularly the Collingwood game, then we're in this game for sure.
That's the game that I actually look up to for a bit of hope, where just grit and will got us not over the line, but it got us to a draw and a well-earned one. So I'm hoping that that's the way it plays out. Because on paper it is a bit worrying. I don't care what you say. It's a bit of a worry.
I said we were going to lose it at the outset, so
you did.
I did.
You did.
And now I'm rethinking that. Now I just want to also
you've whipped yourself
talk myself into it. Bombers.
So before if you had to choose an X factor that will move the needle for our team.
This is the new segment, isn't it? Is this a new segment?
Yes, it might be.
X factor.
Yes. So in this game, what will be potentially the X factor that separates the two teams?
I'm going to. You want me to answer, or you want to go first?
No. I haven't even thought about it.
You're not going to like it because he's hardly X factor. But I'm going to say Goldstein.
Really?
I'm going to say Goldie in the ruck is going to be what swings it our way, particularly if Pittonet doesn't play.
Right. I'm going to say Nicholas Hine will continue his, I won't call it a hot streak, but a very warm streak.
There's 2 games of playing okay a streak.
It is. It's technically a streak. If you can just get to that 3rd game, then have a break, have a goodbye, Hindy. But I'm hoping.
I was actually going to say Nick Hine too.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And we haven't rehearsed this.
All right. No, we never rehearse. So there's no danger of that.
I mean, as you can see, I've been at the office all day. Right. He's been down at the bar working it, but no rehearsals. But yeah, I think Nick Hine. It's a good point because if he plays off that, he could be the answer on one of the wings. But I think him moving forward, drifting into the forward line's proven to be very helpful. He's kicked a couple of goals against the Sunnies. Nick Hine is an interesting choice.
We would love your thoughts on the X Factor. Please give us hope.
Who will be...
Give us all hope.
The X Factor.
Who will it be?
And no cheating by discussing it amongst yourselves first.
Yes, don't. Put it straight down in the comments.
It's just a little housekeeping if you don't mind. Please hit subscribe and like if you can. But also, I want you to hit subscribe and I want you to really hit that like button at the prospect of the 4 Danaher brothers coming together at the MCG before the game on Sunday eve. How fantastic is that? And particularly on the eve of the what do they call it? The Big Freeze game?
Yes, it is. Yes,
on the Monday, the Collingwood-Melbourne game, and of course Neil's incredible efforts to help fight that dreaded MND.
MND, yeah.
So, but he will be showing himself with his other brothers, his great brothers at the Carlton game beforehand. So
should we try and get Terry Danaher on here?
She's a bit busy down here, mate.
That's his famous line.
It is a famous line. But that's amazing, right? To see those poor boys.
Yes.
I think they did come out for the 150th anniversary a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they wheeled them out.
But they were amongst a whole lot of Essendon players that came for that. This is particularly about them. And I hope Joe Danaher is tuning in to see that, to see his dad reuniting with his Essendon brothers. The great Danaher family has such an incredible heritage and history and legacy at the Essendon Football Club, minus Joe.
Are you heartbroken that Joe may have hitched his wagon to the...
God, imagine if he was out there. Anyway, that's for another discussion. But anyway, that's something to look forward to. And let's hope that the two clubs, Carlton and Essendon, who haven't won a premiership between them for 55 years, don't put all their premiership cups on display in the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
Don't do that, guys.
No, we don't do that.
When we win one, we can do that.
It's not cool, guys. It's just not cool.
Should we go tips?
So, yes. Okay, let's...
After you.
Let's go tips, and then I think the Essendon will win by 1 point.
Oh, jeez. 1999 reversed. I want Essendon to win this game more than anything. I cannot live in this city if we lose this game. I am going to move to Gaza.
You cannot deal with those Carlton fans.
I will. No, and the Damien Barrett and all of those people going on, getting stiffies over Michael Voss and going, oh, Essendon, we told you.
There will be a pile-on either way, won't it?
Both ways. They'll be all on for Carlton and going, Essendon. So, no, I'm going to just say I'm not necessarily of the belief that this will happen, but I'm going to say it, Essendon by 28 points.
There, you've said it.
I have.
Gosh, that was like someone on the mount writing something into stone.
Please, Scotty,
Please,
make
Scotty.
it happen.
It needs to be a lot of match day coaching, Scotty. We need to be on the ball.
Wind 'em up.
On the ball. Okay. All right. Well, I have prepared a multi due to popular demand. So if you're not interested at all at this point, feel free to switch off. Go make yourself a cup of something nice. But if you are interested,
are you done yet?
I know the degenerates will be interested.
I can't condone gambling.
If you're anti-gambling, yes, or even if you're pro-gambling, please read the PDF and gamble responsibly. So I'm just going to do a quick one. A very difficult game in which to choose one, given Essendon's form, but I will do my best.
Looking forward to it.
No guarantees. Okay, so...
Is this how many legs?
5 legs. Jeez. 5 legs. Goal kickers, very difficult to choose in this game. Langford, you can't go anywhere near him. He may not even be playing. Peter Wright, what are you going to get? Last week we saw very tough. But I think that Stringer will come back this week and kick 2 goals. Then...
That's fair.
I'm going to go a few possession choices. Nick Martin last week started with 11 disposals, ended with only 24, kind of got shut down. I think this week we can put him down for 25 disposals. If you dare, you can go for 30 on that lovely MCG deck. Could be busy in the back line all night. Leave that up to you. Hind for 20 disposals.
That's extremely outrageous.
Okay, well, I'll come back to that. Ridley, I'm going to go 20 disposals as well. And Setterfield, I'm hoping he comes back and sets the field alight with 20 disposals as well. Now, if you...
Nick Hind for 20 disposals.
If you don't like that, if you don't like Nick Hind for 20 disposals... What did he get last week? 24, 25.
Oh, okay.
So, no, but if you don't like that, if you've got a bad feeling from that, then just put Nick Hind in for a goal. I think that's probably, and it'll probably pay more.
Oh, okay. Nick Hind for a goal. I like that.
Yes, well, I kept that out.
Yeah.
I wussed out on that.
So for all of those that actually go with the 20 disposals for Nick Hine? Sorry, up front.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
For those that went with the goal.
Because you'll end up on 19 disposals now.
But
That's
with,
what will
with 5
happen.
goals.
So, yeah, exactly. And just have a big day out and win whatever medal they give to the player. But anyway, if you go, as I read them out, and I might put them up on the screen.
Is there a
we'll
medal?
see how we go.
There'll be the Justin Murphy medal.
But it's $7.75
The Matty Allen medal.
are the odds. Are you listening? $7.75. Or with Nick Hine for a goal, it's even more.
$7.75.
It's not a lot.
That is.
It's not a lot.
Those are all long shots, if you ask me.
Yes,
But,
no, they're not. But this is a game, let's face it, we need to focus. So maybe even ditch the multi. There's a lot at stake here, as we've gone on about ad nauseum. So, but there it is, popular demand. You have it.
So, out of 10, how much do you hate Carlton Football Club, just to wrap up with?
Oh, yeah, they've been on Foxtel, they've been doing a lot of the replays. Oh, my God, I just can't tell you how it just gets under your skin.
They do, don't they?
I don't know what it is. I can't
tell you why, but I despise them.
Something happens in my body at a molecular level when I just see those games.
Yep. You know, my second cousin used to play for Carlton, and when I was a young lad, he actually gave me a footy of the 1968 Carlton Premiership team, signed by the 68 Carlton Premiership team. You know who they beat that year by a few points? Us, Essendon.
So what did you do with that?
I burnt it.
You did?
Yeah.
Up in flames?
Yeah, it's probably worth a few $100,000 now. It had Jezelenko's, John Nichols, Sergio Silvani.
Don't know about a few $100,000, but a good night.
Yeah, but anyway, he tried to turn me into a Carlton supporter, and I was only young then, and I went, "Be gone, devil."
You did.
I did.
Hey.
So yes, get out.
Yes. All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, that's it. Thanks again for watching. We do appreciate it.
It's been an energetic show.
Go Bombers.
Come on, you Dons.
We're wound up. We're sure you are as well. Give us the X Factor.
Hey, and get out to the ground and support the team. If you haven't already got tickets, it's too late.
They're sold out.
I know.
Why would you be winding people up?
Well, you should have bought a reserve seat at the beginning of the year.
They're just going to stand outside in the wind tunnel.
Yeah. Well, if you could do that, soak up the atmosphere.
Just enjoy it at home.
Guys, have a great day. Have a fantastic King's birthday weekend. And may the gods smile upon our wonderful team.
Please.
Come on, Bombers. Do it for me and the rest of you. Adios.
All right. There you go.
See ya.
Bye for now.
Bye now.
So up.